Good morning guys, and welcome back to the channel. You join me here on the glorious River Wye, and the plan is to try and catch some chub and some barbel. Now it's early September, which is a kind of great month for fishing on rivers, and the river is in really good condition right now. It's been very low for a number of weeks through the kind of late summer period. In the last 3 or 4 days it's risen by sort of 20-30 centimetres, something like that, following a kind of series of kind of fairly light downpours early upstream. And the plan is to try and get some chub and some barbel. So the plan is really simple. I'm in one of my favourite pegs. You might have seen this from a couple of videos before. I got down just before dawn this morning. It's still quite early, it's about 6:30 in the morning now. Dawn is just breaking. And I started by putting in 4 or 5 bait droppers of hemp and pellet, just to try and get the barbel into the swim and get them feeding. I let that settle while I was setting up, and now I'm out there on a boilie, on a 14mm krill boilie with a ground bait mix. And we'll see what happens. September's a really nice month to be fishing. Earlier in the season, obviously got the close season leading up from, well, between March and June, and then from June onwards we're into the kind of summer period where actually many of the fish are still kind of... Bite. Okay, we're into our first fish. Feels like a chub. As I was saying, September's a great month to be fishing. During the summer period, the river can be quite low, the fish can be either still spawning or fairly spawned out. Oh, I've got a bit of a snag down there just to avoid. And oxygen levels can be quite low at this time of the year. The fish have had a bit of time to recover from their spawning. Winter's coming down the road, so they're starting to put a bit of fat on to get them through the winter period, so they're hungry. Oxygen levels are good, and also the other side is summer holidays are out the way. So you can kind of come down and have the river a bit more kind of quietly to yourself. Right, well, there's a nice chub. Get us off the mark. I'm not going to lift it out of the water, I'll keep it in here. There we are guys, if you can see that. I won't bring the camera in here, probably about 2.5 pounds. I'll get you back in. Well, we're in again. Fish is taking line. What's this? I've got to be really careful here today because there is a branch in the water just down here, which is normally where I bring the fish in, so I've just tried to clear it out the way and it was too deep for me, so I have to try and steer it around. Hopefully you can still see what's going on. Well, I'm having to backwind here, but it's also thumping quite a lot. I don't know. Is it a small barbel maybe? Or am I just being too cautious on the first few fish of the day? I think that's a barbel, you know. It might be. Oh, I can feel the line sort of grating against something, I think. Never a good feeling. It's got to be a barbel now. This is... yeah. Already my arm's aching, so that's a good sign. Now it's near that tree. Come on, out the way. Oh, it is a barbel. Wow. Okay. And not a bad one either. Right, okay. What a great start to the day. I've really got to watch this branch. I'll stand as low as I can, steer it around. Looks like a fairly nice fish as well. Don't lose this, Nick. This is why we come to the Wye. Fantastic. And why we come in September too. It looks like getting some bait down and a bit of regular casting has done the trick. And where there's one, there's more. Come on, let's get this one in first. Oh, cracker. Got ya. Woohoo! Oh, fantastic. Well, we're off the mark. I don't think it's even half an hour in fishing. Absolutely, well, that's a good fish as well. Right, okay, well, I'm going to rest it up. These fish fight hard. They deserve a good rest. And I'll get the camera set up so you can see what we've got. Right, I'm going to hold it low over this mat. There we go. How's about that? Absolute stunning barbel. Good, thick, perfect condition. So when it first went off, I thought it was a chub, and then it got heavier and heavier and kind of started pulling lines. So yeah, my arm started aching too. So quickly figured out it might be a barbel, and there we go. Fantastic fish, and it's only the 4th cast of the day. So, you know, getting some bait down on the bait dropper, casting regularly as well, getting some bait in too, it's really paid off. So this is caught within the first 30 minutes or so. So I'm here for 2 days, so let's hope we get some more. Absolutely wonderful. Right, this is what we come for. Hopefully there's more. There we go. More where that came from, but if there isn't, I'm already going home a happy man. Right, we're in quite a different type of swim now. I'm at the bottom of a wooded section here. It goes through the rapids where I was before, then through quite a deep section which is quite rocky and bouldery, and a couple of chaps are there fishing, and they've already had a few barbel and a couple of chub between them. It's interesting that actually most bites today are barbel for people, and they've been fishing a few days already this week and they've had 3 times as many barbel as chub. So it seems like the chub are off the feed but the barbel are on. But the swim I'm in, as you can probably see, it's a much kind of more gentle glide. I think it's deeper water. We'll find out when I cast in. Yeah, quite steady pace, which is quite nice for barbel. And I've just got enough space here to kind of cast a feeder out. So I'm going to give it a go. Got a little bit of debris on the line there. I'll take that off. As before, I've got a 14mm krill boilie on. It's quite tricky casting here, but I'll get down here and give it a go. It's quite hairy, actually, quite slippy banks, but I'm sure we can get a feeder out. Now I'm going to go about, I reckon about halfway actually. Let's get it out into the middle. That's about a third, but that'll do, I think. Ooh, now there's a hobby over there. That's an interesting bird. That's the first hobby I've seen this year. I'll just put this rod on the rest, and we'll have a chat about hobbies. So hobbies, yeah, as we just saw, well, you won't have seen that, but I'll throw a picture up on screen. If I can get any video footage, I'll put some video up too. They're a really unique little falcon. So like a peregrine or a kestrel and other members of the same family. They're a bird of prey. And they're a small falcon, very pointy wings. You think like a swift is quite a kind of sickle shaped. Then a hobby is like a big swift really to look at in flight. Very pointy wings, quite fast flapping. They migrate, so this might be one of the last hobbies I'll see this year. I say I've not seen any or many this year really, so they'll be off down to Africa, and they feed on dragonflies and damselflies, and they're beautiful, very agile, fast birds. What's distinctive about them, and you can't see them obviously from this distance, they come very close, you'll see they've got like a red underside behind their legs, like under their rump, which is quite distinctive, and little flecks down the side. Beautiful birds. Yeah, Latin name's Falco Sabutio. Sabutio after the board game. The person who invented the Sabutio game, like the flicking football game, Apparently he's a bit of a bird watcher, so he named it after his favourite bird. There you go, fun fact. Right, back to the fishing. Let's see what we do in this swim. As I'm sort of sat here waiting and hoping for a bite, and one thing I've noticed throughout today is there's lots of martins and swallows really high up today, and they all seem to be kind of flowing in the same direction. It's really, I mean, it's autumn's kicking in now. You'll see the kind of colours of the leaves, and leaves are falling, river's up, got a bit of colour in it, and it's definitely starting to get cooler now during the days, and particularly at night. So these migratory birds, the hirundines, the swallows, the swifts, in fact I've not seen a swift for weeks, thinking about it actually, and the martins, and these are house martins I can see here, I think. They'll all be feeding up as quickly as possible, as many insects as possible, and then within probably days they'll be gone. That's it, they'll head off, fly south, cross the channel over to France, down through Spain, Portugal, cross the channel, Morocco and south. You know, they're gone, and the next time we'll see them is in the spring. So it really just shows the kind of the change in the seasons really, and it's lovely to see. That's it, I love all the seasons, you know. Every time the season changes into a new one, I really look forward to it. I kind of embrace it. So you can hear now, you hear this? I've got a flock of long-tailed tits just coming through right in front of me actually. It's beautiful. So long-tailed tits, they are a tit with a long tail, as you would absolutely expect from its name. And they flock up like this at this time of the year in family groups. So a pair will raise a brood early in the year, and they have an amazing nest which is it's made out of cobwebs and moss, so as they go in it sort of expands and pulses a bit like a human heart. Amazing. And they rear a brood of, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 chicks. There goes a red-breasted merganser. And then when those chicks fledge, I believe, they then help to rear the next brood. So the family group grows with each brood. So at this time of the year they might have had 2 or maybe even 3 broods, and that family group is still together, and they flock up and they move up and down in a flock like this, chatting to each other. I can see 3 or 4 here right now in front of me, or contact calls, and they move along hunting together. There's a load more just flown across the river, so there's probably more like 20 now I think in this full flock. The other thing that's quite interesting about long-tailed tits, I think they're like mini magpies, is it's always worth looking out for other species mixed in with them. Other tits, so you know, blue tits, great tits, coal tits, willow tits, they might be mixed in with them, but you also get things like tree creepers, you get gold crests, you get warblers mixed in with them too, chiffchaffs, willow warblers. They'll kind of jump in with the flock, I guess for safety and security, strength in numbers. And it's always worth just checking. So when you hear a kind of long-tailed tit flock coming through, have a little look, see what else might be mixed in with them. And it's often the first birds that come through, the different birds. So the first bird might be the goldcrest or the tree creeper. That was yeah, there goes a blue tit in the flock now. So yeah, beautiful birds, long-tailed tits. Right, back to the fishing. And the tips banging there. Might be well to put the rod on to hold the rod actually. I hold in the rod, I'm hoping I can feel the bites and also react a bit quicker. That was a bite. Yep, there we go. That worked. Feels like a chub. Just tighten that drag a bit. Trying to get into the side again. Classic chub. Come on. No, you're not. No, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. No, you're trying to. Right. Stop that. Candid here. Let's swap back to my popper hand. There we go. Right, lovely. Well, that's made the move worth it, hasn't it? Fantastic. There we go. Lovely chub. Probably what, 3 and a bit pounds, something like that. Gave a good count for itself. We'll get it back. It's got some fry in the net here too from when I lifted it up. So there's obviously a fry here in the edge. Right, off you go, my son. Thank you very much. Well, it's worth the move. Let's get that fry back. There we go. It's like a minnow. I guess all small fish look like minnows, eh? Right, well, let's get straight back in. Good, we found some chub. Goes to show, you know, if things aren't working, if you're sitting and it's quiet, it's easy just to sort of sit there and let the hours tick by, but I'm pleased that I've decided to move and made the effort to shift all the gear. I do try and travel light, but I never achieve it. So it always feels like an effort to move. I'll do another underhand, that's better. It's not very deep there, but deep enough for chub. Right, I'm going to hold it again. Right, I'm going to wind in and swap baits, I think. And while I do that, I think that's a good opportunity to show you the rig I'm using. Let's talk this through because it's a really adaptable, easy, flexible rig. I'll start from the hook end and work my way up. Okay, so at the moment I've got a hook length on, which is tied on with a little quick change swivel. I don't know if you can see that. So I can very easily change to any hook length I want. Take that off, open my rig wallet, put the new rig on, dead easy. This rig was a size 6 hook with a hair and a boilie on it, a bit of spaghetti on the stop, and it's only about 8 inches long, and that is 10 pound fluoro hook length. Okay, I'm going to swap that in a minute for a similar setup, but to put meat straight on the hook, so I can swap the hook lengths really easily. Above that quick change swivel, I've got 2 gripper stops and then one of these tulips. Okay, and that sits on there. And the idea between the gripper stops is it allows me to, if I want to do a really short hook length, I want to kind of a short tail between the feeder and the hook, slide the gripper stops down. Very short, I can slide them up, make it much longer. So in a tight swim like this, it might be good just to kind of make it a bit shorter, make my casting a little bit easier. And sometimes they want the bait close to the feeder, sometimes they want it longer. You can just chop and change it so easily. Above that tulip, and the tulip's there just to kind of buffer the weight of the feeder and also to kick the hook length out, okay, to kind of stop tangles. So you kind of see the line kind of comes off the side there quite nicely when it sits in like that on the cast. Without that, the line would kind of sit more flush to the feeder and get more tangles, and also the line would be digging in the run ring, which comes next, will also be digging straight into the line on the cast. It's quite a lot of weight and abrasion you put onto that line, so it just protects it quite nicely with those tulips. And also the gripper stops kind of go quite nicely into the end of the tulip. You wouldn't think 2 gripper stocks would be enough, but it really does hold. And this is a 4-ounce feeder full of ground bait. It must be 6 ounces. You know, I'm casting that and it's not moving at all. So 2 gripper stocks, really good. Then, as I've already kind of alluded to, it's one of these run rings, okay, which is really quick change. Pinch them down. Whoop. Pull it off, okay, and then you can swap to a different type of feeder, different weight if conditions, if it starts flooding, put a heavier one on. If you think it's too heavy, swap to a lighter one. Dead simple. You can also take it off as well and just fish a direct lead, or if I'm kind of topping up the swim with a bait dropper, just take it off, put the hook on the bait dropper, and off you go. Okay, and then above that today I've got a bead and then another gripper stop. Okay, and I've got that because I want to try the method feeder, and to fish this really as a bolt rig. The bead stops the run ring from going over the top of that gripper stop. So if I want to pull that gripper stop down, okay, have it really fixed, real bolt effect, I can do that. But at the moment I've got it up the line and any kind of debris coming down the river will catch on that gripper stop as well and kind of keep it away from the rig. That bit's not necessarily needed. The rest is dead simple. So it's just a quick chain swivel, 2 grip stops, tulip and a run ring, and off you go. Right, I'm going to swap to a bit of meat on the hook direct, and we'll see if that doesn't kind of tempt us another chub. So that's it, new hook length on. Cube of meat on the hook. I'll push a bait needle through to kind of help me pull it back through again. Little twist, straight in. Now you can, if you want, just put a little bit of grass on the bend of the hook to hold it in place, just so it doesn't pull forward too easily, just like that. But you don't want something that's too big. You want it to pull through on the strike, okay, and kind of obviously hook into the fish. So it's just something a bit subtle. Grass works quite well. I'm going to shorten this down. So I'm just pulling those grip stops. I've only got, what's that, 1.5 foot hook length now. Move that top gripper stop down too, so it's got a run of about 8 inches. Put some ground bait in the feeder and off we go. Try an overhead one. We're in. I was just sending a message to my mate there, and that rod went right over. Oh, right. It's coming into the side, which I think means it's probably a chub. Yeah, lovely. All right, well there we go. That's an unmissable bite. Bang. That's on the pellet that time, on a dumbbell halibut pellet on the hair. So chopping and changing. Haven't quite figured them out yet today, I would say, but it's nice to get a few fish, a few bites. Let's just get this guy unhooked. There we go, another nice fish, probably about 3. We'll pop him straight back. And I think it's probably about lunchtime for me, so it's really thin. I think it's really spawned out, that one. Needs to get some weight on for the winter. It's got a bit of ground bait in it now, so that'll get it going. Right, I've been here an hour. Got a couple of chub, plenty of bites, but I think it's time to keep roving, keep moving. No sign of barbel, so yeah, we'll move on. Right, I'm in the next swim, and you can see I've got bites already. So this is the second swim below the woods here. The beat I'm on. I missed that. The beat I'm on has that steady section through the woods, and now I'm in like an open field area. So this is the second swim. I've heard, by all accounts, it can fish quite well. I've never fished it myself in the past, although I've fished this beat a number of times. That's part of my roving approach at the moment this afternoon, until I get back to the rapids. I'm just sort of chopping and changing and seeing what I can find. So, bite straight away in this swim. I'm on a boilie, so I'm really targeting barbel, but chub will take it. So another cast. I'll stand right over the edge to get this out. Oh, I can feel tapping already. I've got one. I was just feeding the bait to the bottom and the chub took that on the drop. Wow, there must be a few fish in here. Right, well it's a bit of a hairy swim this one, I need to get down. Hold on to my tripod. Oh, that's crazy. Have they found a snag? Really? There's quite a lot of weed on the inside I can just see here. Right, come on you. Well, there you go. They don't come much faster than that. Nice chub. Good condition. There's the hook. Again, a bit like the others today, really. Probably 2.5, 3 pound. I don't know if you can see that from there. I won't get you any closer, I'm just going to put it straight back. There we go. Wow. Chub City then maybe here, let's see. I'm going to cast in, I'm going to feel it down again this time because that was ridiculously fast, that bite. So it goes to show they really do hone in on the splash and the ground bait. They know what food sounds like. It's like ringing the dinner bell for them. Right, here we go again. It's slightly easier casting down here actually, I hope. Okay, yeah. Right, there you go, look, tap, 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 tap. Straight in. I'm in again. Wow. That's crazy. I can't get the bait to the bottom. I think there's a snag down there, it slows down. Both of these fish have suddenly gone a bit solid. Fortunately it's come out with a nice chub. Well, crazy fishing. Right, well maybe the fish have all dropped down into this deeper water than these chub. That's why we're not catching up in the faster bit. Right. Put that back in there. There's another one. We make it a hat trick. And the same boilie without even getting the rod in the rest. That would be crazy, right? Like a challenge. I've still got the ground bait in the feeder from the last time. I mean, I'll top it up, but there's still some in there. Right, here goes, number 3. Move that net out of the way. Mind all these snags. Now I'm going to feed it down. Well, nothing that time. There it goes. Yeah, we're in. That took all of 5 seconds. Wow. Well, here's the chub. Mad fishing. Earlier in the year, there's that snag again. It's gone solid. Ah. This one seems to have got me in it. I think there might be a root or something down there. Right, it's out. Earlier in the year, all the chub were up in the fast rapids. And it's been very quiet up there today for chub, but it seems like they're down here. Come on, you. It's got me in some weed. Come on, come on. That's it, moving, yep. Oh, it's a bit of a fighter, this one. Come on. Come on. I need that net. Keep its head up. Oh, there we go. Oh, well, there you go, hat trick. How's about that? 3 casts, 3 fish, and I didn't even let go of the rod each time. As soon as it touched the water, chub on. Crazy fishing. The chub are certainly down in this swim. Just goes to show you got to move. You got to move. Right, off you go. Go and join all the presumably hundreds of others that are down there. So, a quick update. It's been an interesting day so far, really, hasn't it? So, started off well. Chub and a barbel in the first hour. Expected kind of more to follow. They went so quiet up in that kind of fast rapids area. A couple of guys dropped in below me and they caught a couple of barbel, or 3 barbel between them and a couple of chub. And talking to them, they've been fishing for the last 2-3 days. They've been catching plenty of barbel, but not many chub at all. And normally in this area where I was fishing up at the top, you know, I do very well for chub. Often, you know, 30, 40, even more in a day would be, you know, quite commonplace really. And then I dropped down into this swim, and as you've probably seen in the edit, you know, I've caught, what, 3 or 4 chub quite quickly. And on the drop, you know, so as I'm casting in, I'm getting the bites, I'm getting the pluck straight away, and if I hit them, you know, connect, then the fish are there. So my theory is the chub are up in the water. You know, we're all fishing feeders down the bottom. Chub are taking it on the drop as it's crashing through the water, but once it's down the bottom, as I am right now, I'm getting the odd pluck, the odd tap, but not really much. You know, so I think the chub are up in the water. So I guess I've got 2 choices in front of me. One is stay on the bottom and see that as a good thing. I'm getting through the chub, just sit and wait for bites of barbel. The barbel are there, they are feeding, you just got to find them. Or if I want some action, then I guess fishing up in the water is the way. Now trotting wouldn't be very easy here. I haven't got waders and its banks are a bit dodgy, but I do have some specie wagglers, some kind of pellet wagglers. I've got some meat. So, oh, it's got another bite. If my theory is right, then I guess sort of casting out the specie waggler, trotting it down through mid-water could do quite well for chub. Sounds quite fun actually, doesn't it? I think I might give that a go. Yeah. I'll wait for the next bite, wind this one in, have a go with the pellet waggler. Splendid. Right, so let's give this pellet waggler theory a go. To answer the question, are the fish, or at least the chub, are they mid-water? And if they are, can we have a bit of fun catching them? There we go. Yeah. In the right spot. Gone. That went straight off. There we go. Cracking. That worked well. And it's bringing me straight into the side, of course it is. Tighten that drag up. There we go. Try and keep him out the side. There's so many snags down here, and I think we've already found one. Oh, they're so canny, chub, aren't they? In the next bit of weed. I'm winning this battle though this time. Hello you. You fell over. Well, I knocked you over. Right. Put you back. I think that's it. First chub on the pellet waggler. Good fish too. I suspect if I fed quite heavily on the pellets, or at least a lunch of meat, I'll get quite a few of these. There we go, that's good fun. pop it back. I'll keep going like this. I think I might cube up some meat and get my catapult out. Ping, 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 and then plop over the top and treat it like pellet waggler fishing for carp, but with luncheon meat and chub. Right, so as you can see from the attire, it's starting to drizzle now. Not too heavy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this like pellet waggler fishing for carp. So I'm going to start firing in 1s and 2s. Perfect. And just get the fish kind of confident and feeding on it. Do this for 5 minutes or so. And then I'll start fishing over the top. I think I'll pick up the odd one fishing as I was, just, you know, with no loose feed at all, but I think doing this properly and feeding like this, getting the fish looking for the bait, getting the fish aware there's bait coming in, is going to give me a chance of catching, you know, more fish more quickly and having a bit more fun as well. A lot of barbel fishermen don't like catching chub, but I think they're great fish to catch. I mean, particularly when they're sort of 3-4+ pounds, and they're proper fish, particularly on light float tackle like that. It's great fun, can kind of keep you entertained during the middle of the day when the barbel fishing can kind of go a bit quiet, and then as kind of early evening comes, get yourself back in the barbel swim and give yourself a chance for the bigger fish. Well, let's enjoy the chub while we've found some. Oh, there we go. And we're in. So it's really fun on light tackle, this. Found a snag. There it is, out, out, out. Good. There we go. How could anyone ever complain about catching beautiful fish like that, particularly on light tackle? There we go. So much fun. Right, pop some more bait in, do it again. Now, I've really got to bully these fish because there's definitely a big snag out there. That's 2 or 3 fish that have got me in the snag. I've been very fortunate to get them out, but that look's not going to last forever, so tighten the clutch, bully them in. Three of them. The trap is set. And then one of them over the top, double plop, bail them over, tighten up slightly, strike in, yeah. Right, play it hard, Nick, keep it up. It's gone to the left at least, it's away from that snag I know in the front. Lift it up, it's into the weed. Still moving, come on. No you're not, no you're not. No you're not. No you're not. It's a bit do or die. That's just the way it has to be. Heads up, in the net. Got ya. Textbook. There we go. Cracking. Oh, this is a lot of fun. When you sort of crack a method and it starts to work for you, it really is fun. Everything kind of comes together. Right, let's get some more. Put some more bait out. Should get them hunting for it. Good. There we go, straight in. Alright, bully, bully, bully. Come on, keep it up, Nick. That is exactly where the snag is. Come on. Keep him up. Don't let him win. That's it. That's it. No, you're not. No, you're not. You think you're going to, but you're not. There we go. Oh, I've got 7 pound hook length on here. I think the main line's about 8, so it should be plenty strong enough for this. Gone in? No. Oh. There we go. Got ya. There we go. They're a good stand partner. That's probably 3.5. There you go. And wow, when netting that fish, there's loads of fry here. Make sure I get them all back in. Haven't left any on the bank, have I? I don't see any. Right, let's do it again. We're in the groove. Let's put a few in. There we go, 1, 2, 3. Fourth one is where the bait is. Can they count? There he goes. Straight in. The float goes under, but the line, you know, it's the line I see tightening really. Because the float is sort of dabbing up and down a lot, but as soon as the line's taking off, then that's when you know you've got the bite. Come on. No, you don't. Come on. Come on. Ah! Lost it again. Ah, this is what I'm losing it in. There's a bed of weed down there and the fish are coming through that and getting themselves kind of embedded in it. Oh well. All part of the fun. Here we are. Got to get it up. That's where the snag is. It's going for it as well. Come on, stay up. The weeds are. Come on. Come on. Good. It's got him. Got ya. Lovely. There we go. Another one for the pellet waggler method. It's working really well. I'm really enjoying it, but I will get back to the barbel in a bit. Right, off you go, mate. Absolute quagmire here, so slippy. There you go. I mean, look at that compared to the length of my arm. Absolute clunker. If that had a deep body on it, that'd be 5 pounds, I think. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, well, this is really good fun. I'm going to keep going for now. There we go. Got some paddle boilers going through it. Oh. Right, well, I lost the hook on that last one, so I'm nearly through the meat as well. I think what I'm going to do is call it a day on that. I've had lots of fun. I've lost count of how many chub I've caught, but the method really works. They're obviously up in the water, they want a moving bait. That worked great. It was really great fun as well on light tackle, but we've had rain now for the last hour or so, and that's going to just kind of drop the temperature of the water and put a bit of oxygen in. So if the theory holds, that will help the barbel to feed. In the past, I remember once or twice I've been fishing here and it's been raining like this, and all of a sudden the bites have started with barbel. So rather than wait till later on, I'm going to go back up to that first swim now and get back in on barbel and just sort of sit on my hands for a while and see if we can't get ourselves another one. But this has been great fun, absolutely great fun. Right, so I'm back in the top swim. First cast in. The guys below me, they've both had a barbel each while I've been away, so the fish are here. It's been raining, it's stopped now. I mean, what time is it? Let's have a quick look. It is 3:30, so we've got another 4 hours really till dusk, a proper, and I think I'm just going to sit it out, to be honest. I'm going to sit it out here. I know there's fish in the area. I caught one earlier, the guys are catching down there, and it's only going to get better every hour that I fish now, hopefully, for barbel. So I'm going to sit it out on the boilies, keep casting regularly every 5-10 minutes, putting a new cast in, building some bait up, attracting the fish in with the splashing, and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, well, as you can see, I'm settled into the new swim. I'm at the top now, above the rapids, so if I spin you around, I'll show you where we are. So that's where we were earlier, down in the woods, fishing about there from the rapids, and then much further down catching the chub. I've now come back up along the top of the stretch, the very top of the stretch. And I've never fished this swim before. I've got friends who have fished it and done okay. So above the rapids, and it's 5 o'clock. It gets dark now about 7:30, so I've got about 2.5 hours. I thought I'd settle into a swim and just sort of see it out now till dusk, I've gone back and got the chair, got myself nice and comfy, the car's not too far away, so yeah, I'm back on the feeder, and I think I'll just rinse and repeat. So I'm going to do the 5-minute, 10-minute rotation, build some feed up in the swim, create a bit of disturbance, hopefully attract some attention to some fish, and see what unfolds. So as you can see, the river kind of comes around a big kind of sweeping right-hand bend before it flows off down the rapids there. And being on the outside of the bend here, it should mean that I've got slightly deeper water here in front of me and shallower on the far side. At least that's the theory. The faster water on the outside kind of carving it out, the slower water allowing the kind of sediment to settle out and be shallower over there. So I don't need to cast too far out here. I'm only about a third of the way out. And you can see the bubbles. If you follow the bubbles on the wire, that helps you, shows you where probably the deepest water is. They're all on my side. So I'm just casting, yeah, about a third of the way out, just before it starts to shallow up. I'm hoping that's where the fish will be holding. That's a good positive bite. Coming into the side. It means it's only going to be one thing. There's a chub, but they're all welcome. And there are the barbel. Doesn't really good account for itself though. Probably. Let's have a quick look and I'll pop you back. There we go. The mat. Lovely, another nice fish. There we go. Put it back in the net. Too high to drop from there. And a few rocks in the water there too, so there we go. Much safer that way. There he goes. Lovely. Right, well that's me. I'm back at the car, it's dark, as you can see it's absolutely chucking it down, so I'm soaking wet. It's been a good day. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I enjoyed the fishing. What did we do? Well, I caught 20, maybe 25 chubs, something like that, using a variety of methods and a variety of swims. And obviously that one barbel as well, £8.5, really chuffed with it. Strange we didn't get any more though. I was expecting more for that first one. It boded so well, you know, cast 4 and then nothing else since then on the barbel front. I feel like I've worked really hard today. You know, we started off in that one swim and I bounced down 2 or 3 swims below, back to the main swim and then up to the top as well. I've done a lot of scrambling, a lot of walking and worked for the fish. And I'm glad I did really. I think if I just sat out in the one swim all day, it got a bit boring. But I kind of worked for it, found the fish, and I think I particularly enjoyed the kind of pellet waggler approach with the cubes of meat for the chub, which are obviously up in the water and they're really going for it as well. So I'm glad I did that. That was really fun. I've got more fishing coming down the road tomorrow. I'm going to a new stretch for me on the Wye. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I'm looking forward to that. If you're going out yourselves, you know, please do enjoy your fishing, tight lines. Please do like and subscribe. And if you've got any comments to leave, I'd love to hear them from you. So I'm trying to respond to as many as I can. Please do drop the comments in below. Okay, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next video.